Hi, I'm Nick with R&C Valve Repair. Today I'm going to teach you how to correctly test a pump unit. The first thing you want to make sure is that you have your tank filled with oil, and you also have the power hooked up correctly so that the pump's going in the right direction. You want to go clockwise or to the right. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and we're going to start the pump up, and we're going to check and make sure that the pump has full flow up in the flow meter. A couple other things would be the valves. This valve right here is going to be your throttle valve. This valve right here is your boost valve. And this valve right here is the valve that you're going to use. It's called a stiffness valve. It's used to adjust how the boost comes in to effect. Let's go ahead and let's start up the pump unit. Now, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to open the throttle valve up all the way. As you can see, we have flow coming up all the way. Now turn that valve all the way out. Make sure you have the maximum flow that your pump is designed for. We're already at max flow. That's good. Step one is complete. Next thing you want to do, bring it down to about half of the flow on the flow meter. And we're going to turn the knob and apply pressure with the test valve. Now, what you want to do is you want to read the pressure on the gauge over here and the flow. You're going to want to look at both of them simultaneously until your flow drops out. On a high pressure machine, your flow will drop out at 280. Low pressure, 170. Let's go ahead and apply pressure. As you can see, the pressure's coming up. The flow is going to increase too because it's going into regulation. Let's keep going. Now at about 280 to 300, you should see the flow right here drop out. Where did it drop out at? About 280. So we know that our bypass valve is working correctly. Next, let's back off the pressure. Let the pressure come back down. Now what we want to do, let's turn it down a little bit. About right here. We're going to take it up to about 50 bar. And we're going to watch our flow meter to see if it dips. If it dips too much, it could mean that your pump's worn and you need to replace it. Let's go ahead and watch. I'm increasing the pressure on the test valve up to 50 bar. Nope, there was no change. That means that our pump's good. Now let's go ahead and let's set our boost pressure. Now what boost does is it increases the amount of liters and the RPMs on the rotor diff when the pressure gets too high. So we can change that setting of where it starts to increase liters by adjusting the boost valve right here. So let's see where this thing is set at. Now what we're going to do, leave this at about a quarter to halfway. Start increasing pressure on your test valve. You'll see your pressure come up. Now, when you start to see that you're increasing on the flow meter and your liters or RPMs are increasing, you'll know by looking at both of them simultaneously where the boost valve set at. Now this starts to increase at about 100 bar. So we know the setting's at 100 bar. That's a good area to be in. That's where most of the stuff that comes out of Viscotherm is set at. Now, you're going to want the operator to set the boost valve accordingly to what kind of product you're using and what you're running. Let's see. The only other thing that I have would be the stiffness valve. We normally leave these at about 3 rings. That's another thing that the operator can mess with accordingly of how fast they want the boost to come in or how slow they want it to come in, depending on the product or the process that you're running. That's pretty much it on how to test a Viscotherm pump unit. Thank you.